Hiya, I'm about to make one of my memory bears, and because I make so many of them and I know that there's quite a few people that want to make a memory bear that are a bit unsure about how to go about it, I thought I would go through the whole process of how I do it from start to finish. So today I'm gonna be going from the cutting and interfacing, and then if that goes on too long, then I'll do another video on how I assemble the memory bear, who I buy the patterns from, the best patterns that I know, how easy they are, and we'll take it from there. So let's jump straight in. Okay, so every time I ask one of my customers to send me a bear, I always ask them to include a little note inside, asking them if there's any specifics that they want, what platform that they contacted me on, because I have a few different, let me get down here so that you can see me, because I'm pointing the camera down. Yeah, I have a few different platforms that they contact me on, and so rather than trying to guess and go through all my different platforms of, you know, where I try to find them, I like them to put on the note, you know, where they contacted me from. It's just easier that way. On the note also, you know, anything that they want, you know, specific, so, you know, any logos that they want, you know, if they want them in specific places, any embroidery they want. Obviously, if you're just starting out and you haven't got an embroidery machine, or you know, you can't do that kind of thing, then obviously you're not going to offer that. But, you know, on all different, just whatever information you need is on there. So I have that information here. And this one is a small bear, and they want both of the logos from these t-shirts included. So it looks like Works, they work logo, work shirts. And then on the foot, she wants words on one foot and then a date on the other. This is a very recent date as well. I'm not going to indulge any of this information because it's quite private. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you how I do these shirts. I think I might take this camera just a little bit back though, so that you've got like a fuller picture, so you can see a bit more. So excuse, that is a bit better actually. That is much better. Okay, so you can see my fuller table now. So what I generally tend to do with my bear pieces, I have to see for the logos, first of all, you're going to want to find out what pattern piece fits around these pieces the best. So I generally don't want that piece because that's nothing. That isn't going to be an option. Not too sure about that piece yet. That is not a piece. Back and muzzle, no. I don't want it on the legs. I think what I'm going to do is, because on the paw pads they want words, and then on the heads, so obviously it's going to leave the tummy pieces, so I just want to make sure that there's enough space to get on the belly pieces. sorry. And then, so if I have one facing one way, because these logos, they are quite big as well. So they're taking up like the whole of this piece, and it'll probably go right to the back as well. And then if I turn over to the other side, that is going to be the same on that. So they're going to have to be like middle. They can't be at the top here. They are going to have to be in the belly area, going along the belly. Because you can't have them going up that way, because that just would, I don't think that would look right, because then the words are going a different way. You would want them going that way, surely. So there again, it might not look that bad actually going up that way, but saying that, is whether there's enough space for the whole of the body to fit in. These are the things that you've got to think about when you're trying to do the placement, because the buttons are in the way, and then is there going to be enough space then between the buttons and the sleeves for this pattern piece to fit in? I mean, are they going to want them facing that way? As for this pattern, I don't think it's going to look right facing vertical. It needs to be faced horizontal. And so if this one is faced horizontal, I think this one needs to be faced the same way as well. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to face them both horizontal. They're going to be in the center of the tummy, away from the seam allowance, so nothing gets cut off. Right. So the best thing to do then is to draw around these, just to make sure that I don't lose any of those pieces. So let me just show you how I cut these shirts first then. Now I know where the pattern piece is going to be. So what I always do, first of all, I'll cut up the side of the t-shirt, and then go up underneath the arm piece. So it's all one piece. And then I'll do the same on the other side, so that the t-shirt opens right up, because if you can see the side seam and the underarm, it's all one long seam, so that you can just literally just cut right up there, and it opens right out then as well. So if I do the same on the other side, so you go right at the side and then right under the armpits to the arm, and then that way then the t-shirt opens out, so you've got the front and the back completely full. And then what we're going to do is you're going to cut around the arm, where you've got that arm piece there, the shoulder. You're going to cut around there and then up the shoulder piece. And by doing this, the t-shirt is able to lay down flat. Don't throw any pieces out yet. I can guarantee you somewhere along the line you are going to make some kind of mistake. So always keep your bits of fabric that you have, because believe me, sometimes when you cut either a leg back to front, the amount of times I've done that, these pieces are going to come in use, and you are going to thank the heavens that you did. You're going to cut the collar off from the back. Those pieces can be put in the bin because you're not going to need those. So you've got one full back piece, so that all the pattern pieces can be fitted on there. Now you've got to be careful with the front because that's where the logo is. So you're going to take the collar off and go very, very close to this front piece here where you've got all the buttons, because if you remember, that is, you've got the belly piece which is going to have this logo on there. So you want to cut that off, that is close to, so you've just literally just cut that piece off there, unless the customer wants that piece in. So again, then you've got, that's what you've got left then, this piece here, and it may look like a lot. Whew, it's quite warm in here. It may look like a lot, but once you start getting the pattern pieces on, these start to go, because you need, I mean, they're quite large pieces, if you can see, and you need like 4 of these. So I mean, they take up quite a bit. You could get 1, 2, you can only get 3 along the bottom of the t-shirt, plus then you need 2 front pieces of the belly, 2 back pieces. You need a big muzzle, 2 backs of the heads, 2 fronts, 2 paw pads, 4 ears, 4 arms, plus if you're having the inside of the paw pads in here, a different one, you'll need 2 of those as well. Oh, is this still wet? Okay. Sorry. So there's a lot of pattern pieces to take into account. But considering we have 2 t-shirts, that is really good. No, I've turned it over. Sorry, that was the heavy. Okay, so that's that one. And then we're going to do exactly the same on this one here. And what I like about this t-shirt is it's got orange in there as well. So you've got other pieces for the contrast. So if you turn it this way, see you've got like this nice bit of orange. So I'm really reluctant to cut like I usually do, to cut at the side and then at the side of the sleeve, because I want this orange. So what I might do instead is, where this white is, I might just cut along here and along here instead, and keep this orange piece as another pattern piece. I'm not really sure what one I would have, because you're going to have one. This is what you've got to work out before you start cutting. So obviously your one side of the bird is going to be green, the other side is going to be black, but it's got on the logo, it's got that bit of orange in there already. So you've got the black, the white and the orange. So that leads it into, oh, I just thought of an amazing idea. Okay, so in that case then, how about just to kind of tie it all in together, where is that muzzle? See, the muzzle fits in there nice, but there's a seam going down there. Do I want a seam going through my muzzle? I know I definitely want the ears. The ears are definitely going to be orange. And I think I'm going to do the inside of the hand pads orange as well. And we're also then going to do the paw pads. They can also be in orange. Oh gosh, I don't know whether it's going to be too much. The nose is going to be black. Oh, so maybe the muzzle might look nice. Oh, I think it really will. And then the legs and the arms can be black and green to tie in with the body. Right, there you go. See, it just falls into place. So the body is half green, half black, obviously because of the logos. So that means we're going to do the arms are going to be, the outsides can be like, I don't know, either black, and then the insides can be green, and then the actual hand pads can be orange, and then the same then for the legs, that can be black, green, and then the pads can be orange, and the muzzle can be orange, the nose is going to be black, the face, see, all the face is going to have to be black, which is a bit disconcerting actually, because the eyes, this all embroidered, they're usually black. So maybe I might have to choose a different thread, but that's fine. Right, okay then. So let's cut this up so I know what else I'm doing. So we're going to cut up the sides here. Always need to have a plan before you start cutting, because otherwise whatever you plan may not work out. It just won't work out, and you need it to. This is going to be a lovely colourful bear. I'd always say, if you're just starting out, what I did when I first started, my very first memory bear that I made, I actually went to a charity shop and I bought some baby clothes from a charity shop and practice with those. Or if you have clothes that you're going to chuck away, you can use those. But it's always best to practice on something that has no meaning to you whatsoever before you go, I won't bother cutting that, before you go using somebody else's, and then once you've made your bear, get somebody else's opinion on what they think of it. Somebody's honest opinion, because I have seen some tragic, absolute tragic memory bears where somebody's meant well, but oh my days, it's not gone good. And that's the only bit of clothing that they've had of their loved ones that have passed away, maybe. Or like, for instance, one of my orders that I have, I keep all my orders in a cupboard here. They're all in order. I have about 8 orders down there, and one of them is to make a memory bear for her daughter who's left school, and it's literally the only. I've had to redo a pattern to accommodate a logo on something that her daughter has, because it's literally the only thing she has left with a logo on it. So I have to play around with this pattern with other things that I have here to make sure that I could do what I was saying that I could do before I actually put the scissors to this young girl's items. So that's the last thing you want to do, is say you can do something when really you haven't even tried. There we go. There. There's two pieces. Yes. It's going to go good. Right, so this is in a bit of a, let's cut this arm off. And it might start to look normal. There's the arm, cut across the shoulder. Okay, so now we have the two, there's the logo. I might even cut across this bottom as well down here. You never use the belly bottom either, you know, with the hem. So that's that one. And then we have the back of this. There we go. And the sleeves are to the side, and therefore emergency uses. On this one it is anyway. On others I always need to use the sleeves. Okay, so they're done. What I'm going to do is now, because you don't want to waste, this is the interfacing that I use. It's like an extra light iron-on interfacing. So it's got glue dots on one side and this really soft on the other side. And so whatever you're using, this has to be ironed on to the back of your fabric, and it'll stop it from misshaping. So like every single fabric has a stretch, a diagonal stretch. So if you don't put this interfacing on there, what happens is when you go to stuff your bear, it'll go in all different directions, and you'll have a bear that is just really misshapen, absolutely misshapen. Hang on 1 second. Charlie, off. Right. So the interfacing has to go on the back, without a doubt. There is no questions asked about that. So now we're going to decide, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to waste it. So now what you do is you share out your pattern pieces onto whichever one you're going to do, and then you will just interface the pieces that you need. So I will show you what I mean by that. So obviously we need 2 of these, so they're not really going to fit. So these are probably going to have to go in the middle. So if I cut the legs off these, the hem off of these as well, and so you've got 1 and 2, and then you're going to want the ears on these as well. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So really those top pieces up there can go, because on this piece here you're going to have the muzzle. Take this piece off there. You have the muzzle down there. Then you're going to have these 2 sides, 1 and then 2. So I don't think there's any other oranges, is there? Right, so the top pieces on here can go, so we don't need those, and we don't need the tops of these pieces either, so they can go. So you just need to be interfacing these. So you've got 1 there and then 1 there. Probably think that even more of that can go, to be honest. Right, so all these 2 pieces here need to be interfaced. So we'll put these to one side, because that means that they've been sorted. Right, on this one here, we're going to have, this is the belly. So we need to figure out which one is going to be which side, which is going to fit better. Is that going to go there, or is that going to fit in there? Right, so that one needs to go that way because of the way that the pattern is. If I was to put this the belly piece facing that way, it's really, really close to the edge. But if I put it that way, I've got a lot more to play with. Hang on a second. Yeah. So that one needs to go that way, so that needs to go that way. So you've got the belly there, so then you've got the back of the head, 1, 2, 1, 2, back of the body. If we do it like the same, so you can be this one, and then the other one can be on there, and then we've got one of each. No, we're going to have 2 of these and 2 So if you do 1, 2, and then 1, 2, so the whole of this can be interfaced. The whole of this t-shirt can be interfaced. All that's going to be interfaced. In actual fact then, and then it's just the face for this. So that's just going to be this part here. So move that to there. And then this one is going to be that tummy there. And then you've got that one there. Or you could put that there, actually. And then you've got one leg, 2 leg, 1 arm, 2 arms, and that's it, because the back of the head has already been done, the muzzle's already been done, the face has already been done. Oh, yeah. So only half of this needs to be interfaced then. So we can cut this down here. I'm just thinking a minute before I get ahead of myself. I need to think what's going to be on the inside of the arm, because whatever is going to be on the inside is only going to be half. If I put the black on the inside, it'll go with that. So yeah, okay. There we go. So only that needs to be interfaced then. Okay. So this needs to be interfaced as well. And the face, just keep this to the side. There. Right, let's turn this on. This is my iron press, I'm just turning on now. And then on here, what I'm going to do, if you just excuse, I just go up and get my pen. I'm just going to mark because I don't need to interface all of this, so I just need to mark roundabouts where this face is going to be. I hate wasting stuff, especially when I have so many orders to do, and I think, oh gosh, look at all that stuff I've wasted. So if you can get some idea. So all I'll do now is I'll just get some interfacing and just cover that part that I've just drawn in there, and that'll be okay for the face then. So there you are, that's taken what, 35 minutes to decide, to cut and decide where all the pattern pieces are going to go. Now we need to start cutting all of the interfacing itself. So pop that down there. Okay, so on this one, this is a good piece then to do on here. Let's see if it works. Just lay it over. Let's have a look. Just cut it down there. Pop it on here. You can go there. Oh, that's a nice fit. Cut that there. And then we can just cut another little piece. Whenever I have little offcuts, I've got like this little container here, and I put all my little offcuts in here because you never know. You never know when you're gonna use it. Comes in handy. Honestly, it really does. Saves my bacon. I do like a little Frankenstein thing. What I do then is I put that in my iron press. Put a little bit of fabric over the top of it to stop it from sticking. And once my iron press is warmed up enough, I'll pop that down. These are going to be easy to do because they're just one big pieces. So just pop them on there. And the reason I'm not drawing on this fabric is because you'll find that a lot of fabric, after you've put it through the iron press and you've put interfacing on there, it changes shape. So I will never I'll never draw on my fabric until I've put my backing on. Cut all the way around these. Go. Right, I'm hoping that might be hot enough there. Let's try it out. Take these little scrimpy bits, put them in my bucket. There you go. And that'll keep that then from like stretching in the wrong direction once it's all been sewn and stuff. So I'm just going to put this in there. This will take a few different goes because it's way too big. Okay, so I finished all of the interfacing off camera because it was just going to take too long, and I mean, it's boring. Who wants to watch all of that being done anyway? But yeah, it's all done. So now the exciting part of drawing all the pieces on. This is where you have to be careful. You make sure you get all the pieces right. So we're going to start with this with the orange, I think, because that's going to be the easiest. So with the orange, we said we're going to do the ears, the hand pads, the paw pads, and the muzzle. So let's get my pen and let's get doing. Okay, just make sure everything's okay. Oops, that's the door slamming. And then the paw pads. Now, Now the reason I'm going to put the paw pads in the middle because they need to be embroidered, so I need to leave enough space either side to have these in the hoop. So I'm going to do the ears either side. And then I'm going to do the paw pads in the middle. And always make sure that you do all of your markings when you're doing this, when you're doing your drawing. Makes it easier then when you're sewing it all together. that one done as well, and then we just got another 2 more ears. 1, 2. So that's the ears, paw pads, hand pads, and the muzzle. Now we have the main part. Now I've got to remember what I said now. If I remember correctly, that was going to be that way, wasn't it? Let me just check, just to be on the safe side. Was that one going to be on there? No, it wasn't. That was going to be that way, wasn't it? So that needs to be that way. That way. So on this one, it needs to show the front. Got to do everything back to front when you just try and remember. Make sure it's away from seam allowance. Feel for the pattern. This is another good reason to wait until after you've interfaced everything to draw, because you can see everything there. Then that goes on that one, which then means then that this one also needs doing. So those two need to go that way. Why is that one different then? So I wonder if, does that mean it's going to be back to front? If that's red, and then that's red, those two get that goes on there, and then the other one goes on the other side. But that is not going to go on there, is it? I think I might have checkered it actually. I'm not sure whether that should be that way or whether it should be the other way. I might even cut out an extra piece just to be on the side. Oh, I don't know. See, this is where you need to think. Come on, let's think. They're both that way. be right. Should be right. I'm hoping it's going to be right. Otherwise I'm in trouble. Otherwise I'm in big trouble. There. Done that. That's the face, so it's somewhere here and there, so we just, I don't even, that's just for a roundabout. I'll take that with, no I won't, I can stay there. Okay, so what are we having on the inside? We'll have black, and on the outside we'll have green. So these need to have the holes in them. Mirrored. And green, 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 they're done. And then we have to have this one. That's something I didn't do with the feet. Didn't mark there. That's it. That's you, and now you. There. Gosh, that's a lot left. Oh, see what I mean about all that wastage? Whoops. All that wastage there now. Okay. But that's alright, because if that is back to front, then yeah, I need to cut that out and find out, because it's driving me insane. It literally is driving me insane. because I've got this feeling that it's supposed to be the opposite way, and there's not much I can do about it then, is there? Opposites attract. Right. Something inside me is telling me, you see, that it really should be the other way around. So that is, this part here is going to be stitched to the other part. So what happens then is this then, see, I knew it. I absolutely knew it. What happens is this piece goes on top, and it's supposed to, when you put it on top, it's supposed to line up, and then you stitch down these lines here. But obviously this is for the other side, so it is supposed to be reversed. So at least now I know that when I do the green, it is supposed to be reversed. So it's a good job that I checked it. And this is what I was meaning by fabrics. Emergency fabrics. I mean, I've got enough here to be able to cut another piece out, which is absolutely fine. I just knew there wasn't something right. Sometimes it's just like you look at something and you think, no, that's really not right. And there's probably some of you going, yeah, I can see your mistake, even before I did. We can't always be right. We're all still learners. Right, okay, so that's one bit. Right, so now when I go on to the green, now I'll know that this bit here is this way. Ooh. Oh, yeah, it should be okay actually. Do I like that? Not really, no. I think I preferred it more that way, I think. Up there. Yeah, that's where I want it. There. So now I'm going to have to go around that in a black pen, just so I know that, hey, this is the line that you need to follow. That's better. Yeah. Right, there you go. That bit's done. Now this one here, needs to go that way. He needs to go opposite. So we're going to put that there. There. Then you want full arms of these and full legs. Because green are on the outside, so you've got 1 and 2. And then you've got your legs. Which are in the outside, so they don't need the hole either. There. I think that's it. I think that is it. So let me just make sure I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 legs, 1, 2, 3, 4 arms, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 of the pads, 1, 2 of the heads, 1, 2 of the pads, and 1 muzzle. I think that's everything that we have here. So next thing then is the cutting. Cut it all out.